I'm planting things that pay you back. I'm planting things that can heal your body. I'm planting things that are going to feed you. I'm planting things that you're going to get excited about and tell your neighbor. You know, that's what this is about too. You know, we want to inspire other people. We want to motivate them. We want them to kind of start playing, start learning, get your hands in the dirt. We grow hundreds of different types and varieties of trees here on the farm, but I wanted to show you all. This is like my favorite tree. We have some of these in the ground. I have some of these in pots, and this is called the Japoticaba, and it actually fruits right off of the trunk of the tree and makes like the most delicious grape you've ever had before. Similar to a jackfruit, how they fruit right off the trunk of the tree, that's called coliferous production. So this whole little trunk right now is covered in little flowers, and it'll get the most delicious little fruit you've ever had. And I would just consider it to be like the best grape I've ever had, also known as the Brazilian tree grape. So cool looking tree, takes down into the 20s. That's the other thing I'll kind of point out. You know, we are 30 miles north of Tampa up here. We get frost, we get freeze. So I have to have things that are a little bit hardy too, you know. So this is a more cold hardy, interesting, rare tropical that we can grow here. I was up over 40 varieties of bananas here at one point. I'm probably in like the 25, 30 variety range, but there's lots of different gingers, pineapples, starfruit, mangoes, lychee, longan, perennial vegetables. I mean, taro, malanga. And this is kind of us all in that understory situation, in that dappled light, you know. It's a parlor maple hibiscus, and you know, not everything on our farm is just growing for fruiting purposes. Although this is edible, this is helping to bring in beneficial insects, predatory insects, butterflies, and also—
Whoa, wait. So you mean to tell me that you actually want insects and bugs to be in your garden?
That is actually key. You know, diversity in the system, different smells, different scents. You know, we're bringing in predatory insects, we're bringing in wasps, we're bringing in bees, we're bringing in butterflies, we're bringing in ladybugs. You know, that's the whole idea in this diverse system. You know, so when a predator does come in, there's not just one scent. You know, we have all these different scents and smells kind of throwing him off, you know. So, you know, if there is a pest problem, usually it's self-maintaining. You know?
It takes care of itself, because then it attracts something else to take care of that pest. It's funny, that's what happens when things are in balance. Oh, you're eating that?
So all hibiscuses actually have edible flowers, and that was a little sweeter than I expected. There's a good amount of sugar right here inside the cap, and that red Turk's cap over there is even better. But yeah, you can eat this whole flower. Yeah, I would do it like this right there. See what's dripping out of that right now? It's like pure sugar. Get rid of the green part.
You don't eat the greens?
No. Did you get any sugar? Here, eat that tail right there, bro. I'm telling you, it's got sugar right in it.
Oh,
dude.
That was like a little piece of candy.
This is that Turk's cap hibiscus kind of growing on the edge of our food forest, and we grow a lot of edible flowers around here on Sand Hill Farm, and this one's just probably the most phenomenal. So try that one, Will. Give us a little munch. Oh, sugar, right?
No, that is good.
Pretty amazing, huh?
And what's that called?
That's a Turk's cap hibiscus, or a swamp hibiscus.
Why don't I have that one?
I don't know. I'm gonna send you home with one today. I'll tell you right now. All right, so right in this little food forest area by the house, you know, we've got a ground cover. This is actually an edible ground cover of longevity spinach, and this is one of those perennials I was talking to y'all about. And this is highly nutritious, highly medicinal. I mean, obviously you can just eat it raw. It's strong though. I mean, you could taste the minerals, the nutrients. They actually say in Southeast Asia, this is touted to have 1 million different medicinal properties. So this is a superfood. This grows here like a weed.
Oh, give me one. You're not getting no superfood nutrients without me having.
Get on it. It's strong. Like, you can taste minerals and nutrients. It's not like eating a piece of lettuce.
Yeah, you know? I feel like I'm getting healthier each bite.
A ground cover that's protecting the soil. That's really the key into our systems. You know, if we don't plant the plants we want, we're going to get the plants we don't want. You know, so by planting densely, planting a lot of plants, whether it be, you know, cover crops of beans, perennial peanut, sunshine mimosa, sweet potato, whatever it may be, you know, if we don't have skin on our arms, what's going to happen? We're going to get an infection. We're going to get, you know, something that comes in. So we have to look at these ground covers as kind of like the skin on our arm. We want to protect that. This way we're going to keep that organic matter there for the longest period of time. So, you know, having bare soil, what's going to happen? We're going to get weeds, right? You know, so I kind of like to look at the plants as the weeds. You know, we plant the weeds we want, or we're going to get the weeds that we don't want. You know, I've chosen edible, medicinal, you know, useful weeds, you know, things that make sense, you know. So this guy completely froze down to the ground last year, but this is a broadleaf papaya, and it's just starting to set some fruit. If we have a mild winter, I'll probably get a fruit set on it. I really like papaya salad. Like if you go to a Thai restaurant or something, that's one of my favorite ways to eat it. you know, ripe, they're good. They're very good for you. Obviously, there's lots of good properties. The flavor to me is, it's kind of okay. It can be musky, you know, probably. You know, I just got back from Costa Rica. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know if it's the clay soils, what the difference is, but the papayas taste like honey. They're night and day, so I'd probably eat more ripe papayas if I lived in Costa Rica, but I prefer them on the green side here. Almost ready. Couple more weeks and we'll be eating.
Oh, really? We got some fruit coming in on the loquat, huh?
Good.
Nice.
Yeah, we probably grow 10 different grafted varieties of loquats here on the farm. And, you know, many of y'all have probably seen these fruits growing up.
Yeah.
You know, it's commonly confused with kumquat. And these have actually naturalized over Florida, so they're not native here. But in my opinion, like loquats, they're like a small peach. They're delicious. They start coming in around Christmas and they don't stop until April with the different varieties. So very cold hardy. I actually get more calls from people for the leaves for medicinal purposes than I even do the fruit. It's very similar to like soursop, how it's being used for, you know, potential anti-cancer properties. So I think nature like literally has all the answers out here.
Yeah,
you know
for sure. We just have to learn where to find the answers and got to learn how to listen.
So, you know, this right here would typically, you know, be considered a weed. You know, this is a very common one. Some people call this chamber bitters. This is actually Chonka piedra or stonebreaker. Like if you go to Whole Foods, they sell this in a supplement, okay? And this will naturally dissolve your kidney stones.
Really?
You know, and I know holistic vets that prescribe this. You could just break this off, you know, steep it into a tea. You do want to take it with some fats and stuff to make it a little bit more absorbable, but, you know, like this grows in my garden. This will absorb, you know, dissolve kidney stones. Like,
that's amazing.
Nature's got the answer for everything. What we have focused out here in this north exposed field are most of our stone fruits. We have a large bamboo windbreak that's going to help to keep more moisture in the garden. That's going to help to cut down on wind. Wind can really burn plants. Out here we have peaches, plums, persimmons, pears, mulberries, figs. You know, the list goes on of mostly stone fruits in that area. There is some cold hardy avocados, and then as we work our way back, you know, we start experimenting. Like we have jujubes, we have bananas, we have papayas, we have white sapote, we have cherry of the Rio Grande. We've got 10 different types of star fruit. You know, and I've really, you know, kind of pushed the edge out here. Some things I'm not supposed to be growing. Last year it was really cold. We lost a couple of mangoes. I have a couple of mangoes that have survived. So, you know, all the books will tell you that won't work. You know, I'll tell you this, the plants don't read the books. You know, it's worth experimenting, it's worth playing, it's worth trying different stuff. So, you know, like I said, get out there and plant something. This is sweet almond, and y'all don't know, like, we need scratch and sniff for this one. This is very, what I like to call odorific. Like literally my neighbors think I spray Febreze outside. It has just a wonderful fragrance, almost better than gardenias all year long. And you know, not everything like I mentioned here on the farm is edible. You know, the idea of having this is to bring in beneficial and predatory insects to help with pollination, to help with natural pest controls. You know, so I've literally been out here and counted, you know, 26 different beneficial and predatory insects buzzing on this plant at one time, like things I've never even seen before. I'm like, what is that? What is that? You know, it's like mind-blowing. So we have things like the sweet almond, firebush, you know, native elderberry. You know, that's one, my wife is an herbalist. She'll collect the berries from that, make that into a tincture that's really good for bronchioles, colds, antibacterial. You know, that's just a native plant that grows here that most people would see as a weed. You know, that I saw that ornamental value from being a standard landscaper. Like everybody wants to put these, you know, umbrella type trees in front of their house, which would typically be a ligustrum. Like we could do that with an elderberry and get that same shape and have those beneficial factors, you know, and not just being something that we prune that's costing us money all the time. You know, we grow our fertilizer, so not only do we have nitrogen fixing ground covers, nitrogen fixing trees, which means that those ground covers and those trees can take the air we breathe and through a symbiotic relationship and soil-borne bacteria actually turn that into fertilizer in the ground, you know. So we have, you know, nitrogen fixing mimosa, nitrogen fixing peanut, you know, caliandra trees, ice cream bean trees. But what's even better than that, and what's really easy to grow that I wanted to show y'all, was the Mexican sunflower. It grows like a weed here. It makes a perennial sunflower. It actually kind of gets maybe a bad rap because it can get really tall, touch down, and reroot. And some people would say it's invasive, but the way we manage it in our systems, we chop and drop. So this is a star fruit, and most of y'all have probably seen star fruit in the grocery store. And you know, something I'll point out, like all those star fruits in the grocery store, that's one commercial variety that's only grown for shelf life and shipping. They're typically, you know, picked green like they would a tomato and gas to ripen. So, you know, these homegrown fruits, taste different. You know, I mean, you're picking them at the right time. They're fresh. There's different varieties. So I grow 12 different varieties of starfruit, and the number one pro tip I can give you on growing starfruit is they are wind intolerant. So they can handle dappled light really well. They like being in that understory situation. You know, this tree can produce 2,000 pounds of fruit a year. I got 10 of these on the farm.
Wow.
Like, this is a good problem to have, this abundance, you know, like we're gonna dehydrate this stuff. We can juice this stuff. This is like starfruit juice is amazing. Kids love this. Eating this out of hand is good. Like, it's kind of like a win-win all around, and I'm not gonna bite into it. You are, Will.
Oh, give it.
Dude. Love it, bro.
Whoa. Dude. It does taste a lot different. Dude. Oh, these are so good.
Ridiculous.
All right, guys, so if you do plan on planting any trees or starting your own garden or really doing anything outside, think about checking out the app My Radar. It's a completely free app that gives you the instant radar of wherever you at or wherever you want to go, and all you got to do is just click on it and it just lets you know if there's any rain, sleet, snow are coming, so you can know if you got to water your plants or you're going to get caught in the rain or not.